my name is Josie Walton, and I recently earned my black belt, which is very exciting. I'm making these videos for my cousin, but also for anybody who chooses to learn online how to defend themselves or just basic beginner's martial arts. Karate is a very simple martial art to learn, especially as your first one, and from there you can do a lot of other things. Karate is mostly about staying grounded and not getting into a fight. I'm not going to be teaching you any of the crazy, awesome moves, especially not yet. I might get into axe kicks and stuff like that later, but right now we're going to start with blocks because the goal, again, is to not be in a fight. If you find yourself in a situation where you think a fight might start, you can just leave. There's no reason that you have to stay in a situation where you think you're in mortal danger. Excuse me. If you feel that you're being threatened, leave and find someone. You don't have to do this alone. But if you're in a situation that you can't get out of it right away, I'm gonna want to first teach you blocks. Because if all you know how to do is counterpunch, you're gonna get hit. And a few good hits could get you down. Especially if your opponent knows what they're doing, but even if they don't, because hits are some of the easiest things to figure out, you know how to punch someone. Even if you hurt yourself doing it, you're gonna hurt them more, probably. So I'm gonna start with blocks so that you don't get too hurt in a fight. You can fight with just blocks. Any block can also be an attack if you use it correctly. That's why the blocks that I learned happen both in stepping forward and in stepping back. In karate, you're not taught to cross your legs when you walk because the knees are a very vulnerable area. And one good hit when you're crossing your knees or when you're crossing your legs to walk could take out both of your knees and you're basically out of the fight. And you really don't want that. So when you're walking, step, step. You step first with this leg and bring the other one just up to meet it. If you then need to take a little extra step, that's okay, unless you're doing a kick. Then you're just gonna wanna go step, step, kick, and then land wherever you can. But right now we're gonna start with blocks. The first block I'm gonna teach you is very simple. It's a low block. The fist that you make here is going to be the same fist you use with punching. So you start with an open hand, you curl down your fingers, and then you just cross your thumb over your fingers. If you've already known how to fight, that's not surprising to you. But if this is the first time you've ever been shown how to make a fist, that could be a very valuable lesson that could save you a lot of pain. If you put your thumb inside of your fist, you're going to break your thumb. If you put it up next to your hand, your fist is going to be very weak because you've got a very open fist. You've got a very open grip. If you use this grip, it's very easy for someone to grab your fingers and open them. From there, they can use that as a joint lock. And you can basically control the other person. If I had someone else working with me, I could show you in more detail, but that's also for later. Curl your fingers down like this, and if you really want to protect yourself from someone opening your fist, you can just bring your fingers down over the heel of your hand, because then there's not much of a way someone can do that, because then they have your fingers there. So, you don't have to make it go much past your leg. You're just stopping someone from hitting your leg or any part of your midsection. You start with your hands like this. You don't want to make it go much farther. After you do something, your arms are going to instinctively come back here. They don't have to. You can keep them out here. And that's basically it for low block. That's the first one you're going to learn at white belt, but because blocks are so important, I'm going to do the next two levels too. High block is the one you learn at, I said yellow belt last time because that's what you're working up to. You're a white belt once you start. You don't have to know anything to be a white belt. But to get your yellow belt, you do these moves that I'm showing you. But for orange belt, you would do a high block. And that's for a face or head or neck attack. You just go like that. Basically, and I know this doesn't look as great because I don't have someone working with me, but for the next video I'm going to have someone helping me so I can show you how you would use these blocks. You just make a fist and bring your arm up. It's the exact same from any other stance or side. It just depends, but you usually use your front arm for blocking unless it's a rear-handed block or, yeah. And then the next one is for green belt. It's a push block. This is for more midway. It could block a face attack, but it's more likely to block a throat attack, a chest attack, midsection attack. You keep your hand nice and open, and you just push the other person's hand out of the way. You rotate slightly while you do that, because basically a punch is just trying to make sure that a block is just trying to make sure that the punch doesn't actually hit you. And that's basically it for punches. In the next video, I'm going to show you how these work against an attack.